For years, I have received a happy birthday text from both my former pastor and former youth leader. While I always appreciated it, I knew it probably came from philosophies such as how to win friends and influence people. I don't appreciate it so much now in light of that. I was manipulated by means of, I care about you, and I'm called by God to lead you. My talent was used and abused. I didn't want to be out of God's will by not using my anointed gift, so I submitted to doing everything that I was told to do or not to do in order to stay in my position singing on the platform. I conformed even when I knew it wasn't really me, and I stubbornly persisted in pursuing God in the only way I knew how, despite my gut feelings and harboring grievances in the back of my mind. The belittling, brat, little girl that doesn't get her way. Unfortunately, she's right. What was the point of all that? To demean me into not thinking of myself more highly than I ought to? I could ask questions, but not talk about my thoughts with others. How do we learn if not from each other? Different perspectives are important in shaping our views of reality. I remember saying once, aren't we all? In regards to someone figuring themselves out. The response was an immediate no. We are not all figuring ourselves out. Basically saying you had it all figured out, I guess. I can only imagine that you legitimately believed that. Otherwise, you most excellently played the role in order to have your position. Yes, sir. That's what you expected, what you wanted, and you would drive away anyone that came against your authority. The good you did for people was simply to be perceived as the hero in their story, so that if the accusations ever came, no one would believe them. Well, I did, and I'm looking forward to justice being served. My speaking out about my experiences isn't what hurts people. You hurt people. Perhaps I should have never returned. Not only was I in a hurry to get married so that I didn't have to attend youth nights, but having met someone across the country, I couldn't wait to get away. Yes, we moved back. Yes, there were positives. Yes, you helped, although now I'm not sure how much of that was really help. Now I have no reason to stay. My lifelong church that I supported with 15% of all monetary increases, plus more for the building fund, not to mention hours and hours of music practices, and contributions to help make things sound the best that they could, as well as design and video production for outreach, has no value for me to return. Yes, I could have done more, but I was at least able to put in a few minor boundaries for the sake of my health and my children. It was sad when I had to break the news to my son. He cried learning Pastor was never coming back. Then after we made our decision not to return, he has had to grieve not being able to attend big Sunday school now that he's 5. It's for our good. I dreaded the day when my children would have to receive your counsel. I knew the things you had said to me as a young person about my own mother and extended family, and I was fearful my children would eventually be told negative things about their mother, me. I knew I would have to surrender my will and my authority over my children to their pastor. And that made me sick. I'm glad they will never have to know that life. I'm thankful they will grow up learning about the true nature of God's grace and how they can receive the free gift of salvation without having to beg and plead for it, just to then live a life nitpicked in order to keep their salvation and eventually have no joy left for life. So after 2 committed decades to a church whose leadership and people I've now witnessed stab the most faithful people in the back, this year I'll say it to myself. Happy birthday, Jesse. You're finally free.